Welcome to day 12. I can't believe we're nearly halfway through. We're doing really well. So I thought that today we could put together some of the balance poses that we've been working on. So we did a bit of warrior 3 the other day, and we're working on tree pose as well. So let's see how it feels to kind of merge them all in a little flow. We've got loads of options. I've got my blocks handy. If you've got stacks of books, maybe grabbing those if you want. You might like a chair. Even if you're not actually going to do it seated, you still might like a chair for balance. Obviously, I've got wall space as well to hang on to. For balances, just make sure that your area is clear so that you're not going to hurt yourself if you do have a little wobble. We're here to have fun and just play around, so wobbles are kind of all part of it as long as your environment is safe. All right, so let's find our grounding first. If we're seated, same thing. We're still finding the grounding. If you need something under your feet, popping them there. So we're either grounding through the feet, through the sits bones, and we're finding space in the body. Let's take an inhale here. Big exhale. Let's draw the shoulders up. Send them down. Little half sun salute. We'll inhale to reach up any amount. Check in with your shoulders. And exhale to float the arms down. Inhale, find that halfway lift. And refolding. We're going to root to rise to come back up and exhale. Nice. Let's just come through a little chair pose just to warm up the legs. So obviously if we're seated, we're kind of already in a chair, but we can still work with the upper body as well. So we're going to inhale to reach up the arms any amount, still making sure we've got space here between the shoulders and the ears. And then we're going to exhale, sinking back into the chair, weight in the heels. So if we're actually seated on the chair, you can also find this kind of hinge forward slightly. We're engaging the core. Take an inhale. Exhale to fold. If we're on the chair, we're folding over the knees. Halfway lift. Coming back down. Root to rise. Lovely. And releasing. Nice. So let's start coming into our warrior ones. So if we're on the chair, we can do this on the side of the chair and finding more like a kind of lunge position. So just make sure that you're stable and balanced. So I like to kind of come off the side and send one leg back. So I've got the chair here, you can hold on. If you've got your balance, you might work with the upper body as well. Just make sure that you're not kind of unsteady here. From our standing position, we're going to step back on the right leg. So if we're on the chair, we're coming onto the right corner, hands to the hips. We're going to plant that back foot. So from the side on, so looking a bit more like this. We've got a bit of width between the legs so that we've got real stability here. If you feel unbalanced, it might be that your feet are kind of too narrow. And then see if you can more or less have the hips facing forwards, depends on your body. But I've kind of got the hips like as if two headlights of a car facing straight forwards. Find that grounding through the back edge of the back foot. If you're on the chair, the back foot might be lifted a bit more like a lunge. So wherever we are, getting our balance. And if you'd like to, we'll inhale to float the arms up and exhale to release. One more. Lovely. Hands to the hips. We're stepping forwards. It might be that you take one step or a couple of steps like this on the chair, going back to a neutral position at center. Let's take a little half sun salute. Float the arms up and rain them down. Inhale halfway and release. Coming all the way up. Nice. Super. So coming onto the other side, stepping back on the left foot, finding a warrior one legs. So a bit of width between the feet. Find that grounding, that bend through the front knee. Again, if we're on the chair, finding that opening, whatever feels right in your body. Find a little like experimentation here. Maybe you've got a bit of a stretch through the hip flexor, perhaps. As long as you're grounded still, that is all good. Just making it our own, really. That's what we do best. And then we're going to inhale to float the arms up. Coming back down. One more. Nice. hands to the hips. Coming forwards in one step or a couple, whatever feels right for you. Let's have a little shake off. Ooh, how are we doing? Starting to wake up to the legs. So let's remind ourselves of our options for our balances. So for me, I feel like balances are so helpful. Because I come to yoga through a mental health lens, like balances really help you to come into that moment right now, because you can't be thinking about all the stuff that's going on in the head so much when you're just trying to stay upright. So I invite you to really come into the present today and see how that feels. Yeah, a little bit of kind of nourishing mental health balance today. So we're going to step back on our right foot again. Find our warrior one. Let's inhale, reach up. And we'll exhale. Maybe we find those blocks or books. Maybe you find the wall or the back of the chair. And then you can start hinging up and down. Maybe you stay like this, or perhaps you find flight. Seeing if you can stand up out of the earth but not lock that standing leg. Keep a little micro bend in that knee and inviting that hip down in space. Maybe some of you start playing around with taking the hands away, just getting playful here, maybe not. And then lowering when you're ready, reaching up, hands to the hips and step forwards. Lovely. So we've got options on the chair. We might come to this kind of a position. That's a nice option. We've also got the wall. Just mind yourself on fixtures like lights, plugs. Just check your head's all right there. So see what you've got around you. If we wanted to stay seated, we can come from our kind of more like warrior one position. We might start working with the upper body, seeing how it feels to have a bit of transfer of weight, as long as we're still balanced enough to stay up. So playing around on the other side, and let's step back on the left leg. Finding our warrior one first. Get that grounding, that bend through the front knee. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, coming into our warrior three. So I'm just using the chair here so I can really work on getting this strong standing leg. There's lots of reasons to use a chair. It's nice to be using props so you can actually get deeper sometimes and focus more on form. When you're ready, coming back out of it, refining that warrior one position, reaching up. And stepping forwards. Super. Nice. All right, so how about our tree pose, and can we put that into a little flow? Do you remember your options for tree? Let's just try it all together where we are before we start moving around. You might want a chair for balance or the wall. So bring your weight into your right standing leg, and then we'll bring the left just to come to the side. Could stay low, midway in and out of it. Option to play around with your balance, play around with your hands, get creative. Keeping those roots through the standing foot. Stay with the breath. Big inhale. Oh, let it go. A little sway here. Oh, nice one. All right, other side. Left standing leg. Let's just pause, get our balance, our roots here. Grounding. Lovely. Maybe the foot comes up. Maybe we want stillness. Or maybe your body's asking for movement. Stay with the breath. Big inhale. And let it go. Nice. All right, so we're going to come into a little, kind of put that into a little flow. If we're on a chair, obviously, you've done most of these adaptations before, but I'm going to show you now the different options that we've got. So when we're coming from maybe like our warrior one pose, maybe we come into our kind of warrior three, finding a bit of creativity here. And then we're going to maybe going to come back to center and draw this knee up here. And then bring it out to the side to find our tree. So I often like to bring something under the foot if I'm on the chair for my tree pose. Nice, and then you can find your balance here. Then we'll come back to center and maybe back out to our warrior one, reaching up and hands down. But totally make it your own. These are just invitations. We are just exploring really what feels right for us. Let's see what happens. Find your grounding. Space in the body. Take an inhale. Big exhale. Inhale to float the arms up. And exhale all the way down. Half sun salute. Halfway. Refold. Coming back up. Exhale, hands through heart center to the hips. We're going to step back on the right foot to find our warrior one. Grounding through that back edge of the back foot or coming onto the edge of the chair. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're hinging forwards. I'm going to go for my blocks again actually. See if we can lift that leg, but keeping the hips even. It's quite tricky. Nice. We're going back to that warrior one position. Exhale, hands to the hips. So if we're on the chair, coming through to center so that we can bring this knee all the way up. Yes. Hug it for a moment. And then we send it out into our tree. It could be you're on the side, could be you're resting on the heel. So just notice the mind, if we start to wobble and we're getting frustrated, just paying attention to that, making space for that. There's really no right or wrong as long as we're safe. It's all an exercise in observing the mind and observing the breath. Nice. Hands to the hips. We'll bring that knee back up to center. And then send it back to our warrior one, stepping back. I'm just going to change direction here. Nice. One more time, float the arms up. And exhale, slowly coming down. Yes. Nice. Control. Hands to the hips. We're stepping forwards into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So we'll meet grounded. If we're on this chair, finding our neutral position, set position. Big inhale. Let it go. Great work. Other side. Inhale. Calming down. Halfway. Refold. Back on up. And exhale. Hands to the hips. We're stepping back on the left leg, sorry. Come into our warrior one on the other side. Super. Find that bend through the front knee, grounding through the back edge of the back foot. Maybe we're on the side of the chair. When you're ready, you've got the hips kind of forwards. Just be mindful that we're not forcing anything in the back body or the pelvis. We're going to inhale to reach up. And we're coming straight to our warrior three, this balanced pose as we hinge over. Yes. Lovely. Use those roots through the standing foot to help push up out of the earth. And when you're ready, we're stepping back into our warrior one. See how gentle we can make it. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, hands to the hips. We're coming to draw this knee up. Maybe you might try and come in one movement all the way up. Or maybe you take several hops. So it could be that it looks more like this. Really doesn't matter. From the chair, hugging that knee in. Yes, and then we're bringing it out to the side. Yeah, nice. Find that opening. Maybe we're resting the foot just on the ankle there. Getting creative if you want. I've got a bit of a breeze. If we fall, that is all part of it. It's how we fall that counts. Nice. I'm really unsteady on this side. One more inhale. Exhale. Hands to the hips, draw that knee up, and then an invitation to maybe step from here back into our warrior one. Yes. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale. Lovely, really slow. Release. Hands to the hips. And we'll step forwards into Tadasana if we're on the chair, finding that neutral position. Big inhale. Oh, let it go. Nice. Take a little roll down. See how that feels in your back body. If it's too much pressure on the lower back, just use the legs a bit more. Here, find a bit more bend through the knees. And then we'll roll up again. Bring the shoulders up to the ears, send them back and round. Yes. Just pause for a moment. Maybe you want the hands on the belly or the heart space, or one on each, whatever feels right. Settle through the soles of the feet. Just noticing how we feel after our practice today and giving ourselves credit for showing up every day, showing up whenever we can, and showing up with our true, authentic selves. We really appreciate you being part of this community and helping give this sense of belonging to others by being here. See you tomorrow.